Welcome to Architects of Opportunities, a series on founders of nonprofit organizations. We will look at how one person or a few people saw a need in your community and found a way to fill it. Who are the people that are inspired to see a need and bring others together to lend a hand, and not for profit? They are the nonprofit founders. Founders are everyday heroes. They envision possibility and persevere to accomplish it. Founders in all sectors and across the country share a common vision. They want to make a difference. Today, we will introduce you to one organization who makes a contribution to your community. Thanks for joining us for Architects of Opportunity. Today we're here with Roberta Wain-Becker of the Golden Gate Opera. Roberta started this organization in 1996, and we're so happy to be here. And thank you so much, Roberta.
Yeah. Do you see opera continuing as a big part of our culture?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the showing of opera in the movie theaters, so we can see backstage at the Met. All of us heads of opera companies were a little worried. We had questions: is this going to help, or is it going to? What can we do about it? Nothing. And that we were worried that people would go to that for $20 or something and not support their local opera companies. But we need to let the local people know how important it is to support and attend productions of the local companies, because that is where these young artists get their roles done, and that's who the people who end up in the Marilla program and then on to sing at the Met. Mm-hmm. And so the local companies are very important for that reason. Mm-hmm. And experiencing live performance is important. But most of all, I think the art form of opera is really important. And so Opera America is an organization that was founded, I think, 25 years ago to help and support all the opera companies in the United States. And in times of trouble, or to give us the tools. We get together and we talk about what a general director does, or we get together and all the development people go together and say what's going on in their area. We have, the opera companies of the United States have different levels. And people may not know that there's an opera company in Des Moines and Sioux City, Iowa, and parts of Washington, it's the state of Washington and Oregon, not the most famous cities, but there are opera companies in lots and lots of cities, like it was in Italy. There were opera companies in all the little cities, So, number one, opera companies are actually good for business. You'd be surprised what the economic results are when you put on an opera. People travel to your town. They spend money not only on tickets but on hotel. They want to go out for dinner afterwards if they're local, so the restaurants benefit. I mean, the musicians and the stage crew people at the theaters get paid. There's a lot of economic benefit, and sponsors get visual credit for sponsoring the local company. So there's a lot of financial benefit to the community.
Is Opera America a membership organization?
Yes, it is, and we are members. Uh-huh. And they have what they call professional company members and associate members. And we are a professional company member since 2011. So it's been, I guess, 5 years I've gone to the conferences.
And are they helpful in developing a business model?
Oh yeah, very much so. Uh-huh. And they're helpful in ways in which you don't know. Uh-huh. I think the contacts that made there are important. Building relationships with other people you can talk to, that other heads of other companies you can, commiserate with or ask advice about, or learning to share productions. We have costumes we can rent for other companies to use, and that's one form of income. There are a lot of places in a lot of types of ways that we can have income, and we're not doing all of them now, but there's a long list of them. That we could add those things to our strategic plan to have additional income, like tuition. We could have, I would like to have an opera camp. And to do that, I'd have to start planning it very early on. But that's a children's activity that would be a lot of fun.
In your spare time.
Yeah. So I just actually need more people. Mm-hmm. in the inner core for the moment, volunteering, to help put these things together. Sometimes you absolutely have to pay people.
Now, Roberta, what is Marin like in terms of supporting you? We have a population here of what, about
260,000.
some thousand.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say the percentage of people who attend your concerts, or how do they attend, and are they supportive?
I think those that attend what we do are supportive of us.
Yes.
But like all the opera companies, we're trying to reach out to other parts of the community that have no idea what opera is. I would like to see us partnering with libraries and museums and other organizations and baseball teams and things like that to have people come together who are interested in those things and then gain exposure to opera as well.
Mm-hmm. And you go to the schools and you talk with the teachers, Mary Jane Burke maybe, and you have different ways that you interact with them. And that must help promote it.
It does. For the upcoming project that we have, which is very unusual, we have an opera that's going to help children in school stop bullying each other.
Say more about that.
Yeah, well, I wanted to join what all the other opera companies are doing, which is producing new works. And chamber works of smaller size are also good as a way to keep the cost down. But I was also trying to find an opera by a composer that's already known, maybe something that hadn't been done in a long time. And I came across this opera called The Boy Who Grew Too Fast. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I asked a couple of people, they'd never heard of it. So I was really excited because Menotti is a great composer. And so that is an opera. And then I did more and more research. I find out that the U.S. Conference of Mayors declared October National Anti-Bully Month. And I said, we have to produce this in October. Now we have to tell the mayors of every town in Marin County that if we can do something in their school, in their town, that they are then participating in National Anti-Bully Month.
One of the hardest things about being bullied and picked on is not knowing whether you can defend yourself. I've been there before, where someone bigger than me pushes me around and I get scared. I think we all get scared if someone comes along and threatens to hurt us or say mean things.
And the meeting, I kept looking up all this information. It kept unfolding like a big, rose or onion. And I thought, oh God, I need to hurry and contact all the mayors so they can say, yes, we'd like to be part of it. Then they get to go to the National Conference of Mayors and sign up and say, our town is participating in National Bully Month by supporting Golden Gate Opera's Opera to Prevent Bullying.
How's that going?
I need a few more people helping me. I'd like to get endorsements of mayors or town councils in every town. But my point is that opera can serve the community. It's not just fluff. It's not just entertainment and extravagant and expensive. No, the stories can serve and help in our community, serve a purpose, because opera can move you no matter what. And here's a story about a boy who was bullied because he was too tall. And we show at the end of it that the children accept all the other children for who they are. And so that's what's very moving about it, and lots of people care about bullying, which I could use a little marketing help to raise consciousness about that. I'm really pleased that we'll be doing that, and that before this comes out. But the next thing that I also have in my mind is another new work that I found out through my Opera America connections. Fort Worth Opera Festival is, in cooperation with Golden Gate Opera, wants us to produce a work called Glory Denied, which is from a book called Glory Denied. It's the true story, the verbal, oral history written by Jim Thompson, who was in the Vietnam War, and he was the longest held prisoner of war in United States history.
Alice and I were born and brought up here. We received our Christian education, were confirmed into the church, and were married. My friend
People have a lot of fun at our Aria parties whenever they are. We've had one, let's see, 2013 we had one to celebrate Verdi's 200th birthday party. And we have great names like Aria's on the Lagoon. We had a nice one in Tiburon there, and another one, Aria's on Top of the World, in Jess Thomas's former home.
Roberta, I know that it has not been totally easy for you, and I think there have been probably many years that you haven't taken a salary, and you put everything you have back into it, and probably started
Donated
it
too.
with your own funds, right?
Yeah.
Donated. So how do you get through it? What drives you? What makes you want to do this?
Well, first of all, years back, I should say I've been to every board meeting in 20 years. So I know all the board meetings. And at one of the meetings, someone said, why don't you don't ask for board members, just announce that you have a fundraising school. And then people will come sign up. Because I can teach that. I know how it's supposed to be done. That's one thing. But now I would like to, I should say we have a board member school, actually. I have all this information about how to be a successful board member, and that's what I'm interested in, giving people satisfaction in what they're doing and seeing the results, giving them roles, and so they can see the results. Board members don't have to sit around and wait for the long-range satisfaction that comes months from now, because they have little progress actions that they to do in order to report on progress of what they're working on each month. And that is my dream, to have a board that's fundraising, because I can't do what I did before. I just can't. And I know it's like investing in your company. If you invest in your company and you put it down as a loan, it's a corporate loan and you just get paid back with the proceeds. But I just can't do that anymore. So we're going to be working on a strategic plan this year and involving our board and new volunteers. We have the beginnings of a new board now. And so actually I noticed one of the companies in Opera America had a 15-year strategic plan. And the 15th year, they were a very high-income company. So, however far ahead we want our patients to be, 5-year plan or a 3-year plan, all of that is good. You make it with benchmarks. But I do want, I want the company to live on, because it's right that Marin County should have this art form as part of its enrichment. But I'd love a future production to be able to call it a community-wide collaboration of all the arts organizations in this one project, like Carmen or something. It's possible to involve even more than one chorus can get into it. And that would be a really joyous thing. I know one company that's doing that, where they are.
Wonderful.
Community-wide collaboration of all the performing arts companies.
Well, you have wonderful ideas and a great program, Roberta. It's so wonderful to meet you and really hear more about it and understand it. And don't be surprised if you see us from out there on the stage out at one of your performances. And I'll be happy to help you if I can.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I really appreciate our volunteers a lot. And it's kind of like a big video game, I know the inside of how it works and what I have to do to get to the next level. So I wouldn't want to stop. It's just a matter of doing those things and reaching people who can help finesse how we're getting to those levels. So I would so appreciate it if anyone would connect me with people that run in other circles than we're in, who could connect us with their people. Because just a few people in Marin County, if they knew how little we need in order to have the opera company function easily, we need to be able to pay a couple of people, and then we can fundraise more. I need to be able to get out of the office and talk to all of our donors and see how they are and let them know what we're doing. And to do that, we just need funding for the operation to pay a couple of people. We do have a couple of interns coming July 18th from China, and they're getting experience with us in English, and they'll be helping with marketing, I think. So we do all we can, but you can't beat someone who knows why you're doing it and what the final goal is of what the little task that they're doing, So when we get to a point where, like Opera Memphis, where they have 10 paid people in the office, they're able to do a lot more. Great ideas are good, but well, I'm not as young as you might think, and I need I need some additional people to implement all these wonderful programs, and have some good new board members and volunteers coming up.
Well, you have great ideas, and also I really appreciate the fact that you reach out and you belong to the membership organization, and you look for ways to do it, and you continue to get training in your own executive directorship position. That's fantastic. So congratulations on your mighty successes for almost 20 years. And will you be having a celebration for your 20-year anniversary?
You bet. We will have a celebration in February of 2016, which was when we got our nonprofit.
Fantastic. Good for you.
And right after that will be Glory Denied.
Right. Wonderful in March.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Roberta. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much for coming to see me and for honoring me at the Founders event. That was a great feeling.
You're welcome. I help nonprofits hire staff and leaders to carry on their founder's vision. And so I've seen hundreds of nonprofits contribute to our community. We created Architects of Opportunities to share that with you. Now, nonprofit founders will tell you they don't do it alone. If you're among the 25% of us who are volunteers or volunteer board members or staff or donors, thank you. And if you're not, please join us in making a difference.
so